everyone. So, what's chlorosis on a leaf? Certainly not this, but just see the shade. I know I have a darker lipstick of MAC, but I don't have this shade. So let me show you first how the sun stress happens on leaves, where it hits and where it doesn't. This is where it doesn't, and this side is so stressed and this is not. Right. And see how beautiful this leaf is. It always fascinates me how the shading takes place because of the direct exposure to morning or day sunlight, and how it doesn't once something closes another. So let's get to the topic at hand. I managed to fish out the leaf from the trash, my compost pile, and this is the reason I just took it off, because this always had this huge gaping hole in it, and I was okay with it because there was another leaf overlapping this. But now it tore, and chlorosis, from the looks of it, looks this yellow, these patches. Okay, they are so close to a certain fungal infection. That's what's the cause of this leaf. It's very evident with those darkened spots in the middle of each yellow spot. Okay, so therefore, though chlorosis looks like this, it's not chlorosis. It's just a fungal infection, but chlorosis is, where the magnesium deficiency causes the leaf to become, kind of yellowish in spots. Okay, and here the sun stress is not what we can call chlorosis. Sometimes sun does, stress leaves in different ways, different methods. This is also a sun stress. This is nothing. Some have said this is some sort of a fungal that is not detrimental. I do not remember the name. If I find it, I'll let you know. But see, there's nothing underneath. It's just, dirt. Okay, give you a closer look. This is nothing. This is just natural stuff that happens. So when you say, like these speckles, when you say that your leaf sun stresses, this yellow is not chlorosis. How that happens is with the new structures that the plant will be throwing out, the bottom structures will absorb their energy. Normally, those are the oldest leaves here. It's yellowing, but this is not chlorosis, it's just dying off. So you need to understand the differences between chlorosis and natural death of a leaf and the sun stressing, looks, that you should not confuse as chlorosis. Here, so this leaf, this is the closer, as I said, I can show you to identify, but when that energy pulling happens from the bottom, if there is no proper nutrition in your plant, the oldest structures would be the first to go. Right? That's a natural part and parcel of life, right? Just like we shed our hair, skin and all that, they have a life expectancy too. So when things like that happen, the normal remedies you can use from your day-to-day products, household products, the main thing is, the only thing actually, Epsom salt. You just have to add a tiny pinch to your 2-liter fertilizer bottle. So do not go into adding teaspoons or half a teaspoon even into 2 liters of a fertilizer bottle. Just add a small pinch, and just like a pinch that you would use to fry an egg, that you sprinkle on top of your fried egg, that much would do. So that will give the necessary magnesium dosage for your fertilizer bottle, for that spray. And you are not to spray magnesium all the time. It's not a regular fertilizer, so therefore you should not do that. Just please remember that. Just once a month would do. But if you are suffering with heavy yellowing in your leaves, that is either a fungal infection, bacterial infection, or this is magnesium deficiency. So when we do not know, the first thing we can do is to spray some magnesium with your fertilizer and see. Then you can go into, if it's something else, if you think it's not changing, because these colorations do not change overnight. I think, for my experience, there had to be at least 2 to 3 sprays that you will see a visible change in your leaves. So my decay has had that issue earlier, but I do not have any leaves to show you, right? Even if I turn this around, it will just be the sun stressing, because I in fact took one of the longest cuttings and replanted into it also. That's why this is very slow. It needs to pick up. There are times that this would just do its own thing and grow, but there are times that they become stagnant. Every plant would, just like a life would be sometimes. But here what you need to remember is, if you want to have a healthy plant, you have to be careful and inspect your leaves, top and bottom also. That if you have a yellow spot, a darkened spot in the middle, which means it's a bacterial infection. Some sort of bacteria is there. But if it's just yellowish, right, let me show you on this, right, and there's not much I can show you. Right, these can be fungal, okay, but the bottom has to have a darkened spot, right? 1 or 2 spots like that, you don't have to worry. But if it has spread, you have to spray a fungicide too. So normally these chlorosis patches do not occur on new leaves. I'll show you the new leaf of the same plant. Can you see? It rained even an hour ago, so it's very wet now. All my plants have got a good bathing, and these do not show any chlorosis because they are new, because the bottom structures will give the necessary nutrients to them, right? Over time only you will see chlorosis in your plants because of the magnesium deficiencies that it will show, and only with the oldest leaves. And again, my memoria looking yellowish, this is because of dehydration, because this is a cutting which fell off and I repotted. Right, this had root mealies in them, so I repotted that, and I found this cutting afterwards on my Hoya glabra schlechter, because it was hanging to that corner and it has fallen onto that vine. So dehydration of leaves should not be mistaken for chlorosis patches, or fungal or bacterial infections cannot be mistaken as chlorosis patches. Neither does the sun-stressed leaves. What you need to remember is that those patches, although I cannot show you something for real, they will just be, yellowing and from the old growths most probably. So therefore, what you need to be careful is that you will give the proper care to them. Once a month, Epsom salt addition to your fertilizer would be so sufficient, and only a pinch. Do not overdo it, guys. I will never advise you to overdo your fertilizer. It's always less is more, and weekly, right? So I will do a summarizing video about what must you look for and what must you do before rooting a cutting or repotting a plant that you bought in a future video. I am writing the script right now for that. That will be coming along very soon, because I need to address that before I get into the itinerary for this year. I still haven't gotten on to the things that I've promised you, because I want to show you how I fertilize and how exactly I mix them, and if I mix organic fertilizer with synthetic fertilizer, and how often I use Mega Thrive, or if there are any other enhancers that I would use, or how often I do not use fertilizer now. And there's so much more, including a dedication for the people who have been with me all throughout the past year that I started my videos on YouTube. And like that, there will be a lot to show you all. I'll just show you how big these buds are getting. You guys know this is my canosa. So see, the buds are trudging on. They are not stopping for any reason. So what I do is secure vines whenever I can, whenever I see them jutting out, because that will give it some stability and turn their leaves towards the sun. That's about it for the video. I hope you guys will be able to identify chlorosis with the pictures that I have inserted into this video also. Please do Google chlorosis for better images, or if you need to know more. It's a small issue which you can mitigate with the simple usage of Epsom salt from your own house. Most of the fertilizers, or better, let's say like this, every fertilizer has that trace element in the solution, right? And please know that magnesium is only needed in very small quantities, hence the reason I have advised you to add only a pinch. So therefore, do not overdo it. Just be very mild with your adding, right? If you're a good cook, you know how to do this. I'm sorry guys, I'm just making a joke. I'm not saying anything bad to anyone who cannot cook. I just said, housewives, or whoever who's into cooking, they know how to do this kind of things when it comes to, when I say pinches and stuff. So be mindful with your pinches into your fertilizer. Epsom salt is the best, easily accessible ingredient to provide you guys plants with the maximum amount, the required amount, not maximum, the required amount of magnesium. So I hope you will be, you know, okay with the advice I gave you, D. I hope you got the answer for your question. It's just easy. Just, you know, be mindful, and if there are many that is suffering with that chlorosis issue, you can spray your whole collection, right? Because the others may show symptoms sometime later too. So guys, have a good day. I'm gonna end the video. Bye bye.